Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with mysticgenmara.com, and today I would like to do the reading for the air elemental energies, and that resonates with the signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So if you are a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, this reading is for you. And if you've had your charts done and see a lot of air in your chart in the elemental aspect of it, this reading is for you as well. So, how I like to do my readings are I go through week by week for the month of November, which means there are 5 weeks. And for each week, I pull a card for a guide or a guardian, a message from source, and a lesson or a challenge from the tarot. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started with the air reading for the month of November for the air signs. And your angel or guardian, and these are angel groups, is do the work. So these angels that are coming in for the first week of November are really tapped into keeping you motivated and keeping you moving forward. So this is a good time if you have a project you're already working on. This is a really good time to step up the pace maybe for this first week, stepping a little bit more into that active role versus just letting it set off to the side and kind of do a little bit with it. The angels are saying this first week, let's get going, let's get moving. So your message from source, which is just a positive reinforcement message for you, is the portal keeper. Portals are gateways to the layers of reality. They can be accessed through inner practices or externally in places such as the planet's vortices. Gently explore the edge of your existence. Spend time listening in the forest. Deepen your meditation practice. Dance yourself into ecstasy. Explore psychic tools and study new healing modalities. If you feel lacking in purpose or seem a little mundane, remember there's never a reason to be bored. Sorry, I need to pull down. I can't quite see. What we experience in our physical senses is the tip of the iceberg. Magic exists wherever you care to find it. Look between the lines. So you've got the angels coming in saying, let's get going. We've got a lot of things to do. And the universe, God source energy is coming in saying, there's doors opening for you even if you're not fully aware of it. And this card is saying, really start to tap into that. Use meditation, use the dance to ecstasy level where you're just kind of put yourself into that altered state, and then you can start really getting into those rhythms of what the universe is trying to line up for you. And with that, if you're somewhere close to one of the vortices, Stonehenge is like a prime one, or not so much the Bermuda Triangle, it has some weird energy there, but things like that where there's natural occurring rivers where they join together, crossroads like Animal Trail crossroads, even places like that have some of this energy of a gateway or a portal. So finding somewhere like that and to just meditate at the edge of it is a good thing to just tap into that energy of changing. What else do you have to go? And with the angels that are saying do the work, this is a great time to really get that extra burst of inspiration and insight. Your lesson or challenge from the tarot is the 10 of Spring. Ask for help from others, all work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. So this is really a good reminder to take a step back. You're doing the work, you're pushing forward, you've got this inspiration and you're working really hard on it, but don't forget to take a breather. Sometime during the week, just take a couple of minutes out of your day and go out to dinner with friends or watch that movie that you've been thinking about. Something that just kind of gives you a little bit of downtime, but keep it restricted so that it's only one day of the week. But with all the energy that's moving forward and all the work that you will be doing this first week, you want to make sure to take that time for self-care as well. So moving on to the second week, we have the angels of harmony and resolution. And this group of angels comes in to help you find your balance. This group comes in to help you resolve anything that's in the way, not quite going the way you want it to. These angels will come in and be like, okay, let's start going through things. Do you need this anymore? If not, we're going to get rid of it. We're going to resolve that issue. We're going to resolve that problem. We're going to show you the way to find balance again. When you find balance, you realign with your harmony. When you're in harmony, you can hear the song of the universe, which is basically the heart of the Creator God. And so this is a really good week to start looking at the things you can clear out. During the first week, it was all about busy, busy, busy. And the second week is, okay, you've been busy, now let's clean up a little bit. And that leads us to the message from Source is evolution. And I'm going to have to bring this down. Sorry, I can't quite see. Consider what evolution means to you. Is your evolution about growth, expansion, adaptation, success, or becoming a better version of who you are? Look for ways to flourish in the face of challenges. Break a problem down into its elements. Be creative and consider how you can make it more fun and inspiring. Alternatively, ask how you can learn, grow, and become stronger through what is happening for you now. You may be pushed to greater and deeper learning, and it may be an uncomfortable process, but the strength, growth, and wisdom that comes from this journey through the eye of the storm and embodying this knowledge is what will teach you and help you grow. So this is actually tapping into your energy as an air sign as well, because as you're growing, you're going to get into these swirling mixes where your thoughts and your mind is just kind of either running rampant or being easily distracted. And during that time, it's about finding your balance, finding your grounding again. So you have the angels of harmony and resolution. So if you feel overwhelmed from that first week's energy, finding a way to bring that balance in. The last card for the first week, the lesson from the tarot, was all about finding balance, finding a time to do something for yourself, that self-care routine. And the second week, that's really going to be emphasized, because if you skipped it during that first week, you're going to notice it in the second. And that's a way to upgrade, as the card shows, when you take the time to heal and work through these the things that are coming up for this week, and you're releasing them, you're resolving them, it does help heal you at a DNA genetic type level. And that's what's the angels want to bring in, is it's time to really start to upgrade yourself, find a new balance, and in doing so, you're going to find a new baseline, which means you're in a better state spiritually, which is going to resonate mentally and into the physical world as well. So let's look at the lesson or challenge for the second week. It's the Four of Spring. Be grateful you have much to celebrate, deep feelings of peace and happiness, and a contented personal life. So your challenge for the second week is actually going to be making sure that you have that gratitude. The first week is all about work. The second week is finding balance and clearing things out. And the reason you're clearing it out, and the reason that you're going through these processes of growth, healing, change, creative destruction, is to really tap into the gratitude. Look at where you're at right now in this current moment. What can you be grateful for? If you like to journal, use journaling prompts as what are the things in my life that I'm grateful for today? Go down that list. And then in the long term, what are the things I'm grateful for? And these can be things that haven't happened yet even. Like, I'm grateful for that job promotion. I'm grateful for the bonus at the end of the year. Things like that. But putting it down into the mindset of, I'm already grateful for this, even though it hasn't happened, is a good way to reset your mind from the negative anxiety type thought patterns into the more positive. So your challenge is really about how can you find that peace and find that positive outlook on life in this second week. So let's look at the energy of the third week for air signs for November 2022. If the cards would talk to me, that would be great. There we go. And it is Listen Deeply is the group of angels that are coming forward for this third week of November. So this card is really talking about the angels that are coming in are angels that are very compassionate. They listen with their hearts, not their ears. And so they're here to help you understand you. But it also, they're coming in to be like, you have extraordinary gifts, and some of those may actually be in some kind of a psychology, a counseling, some kind of mental healing type practice. And these angels are coming in to say, you have a great well of knowledge and compassion within you. let's work with that. Let's bring that to the forefront for this third week. So if you have people that are starting to come around you in the third week of November, just be aware that they're being brought to you because the angels have guided them to you, because you have that ability to listen for what they're saying in words, but also to what they're saying in energy, because the combination of those two things is really healing, to be able to let it out and know that the other person is listening and truly listening. And it's not just hearing words, but actually understanding what's behind those words. And these angels can really help clarify a lot of that energy for you. So your message from Source is to work with your Earth Star chakra. It is initiation. We are standing at a gateway to the unknown with trust in your heart, ancient rememberings in your soul, and inner illumination to guide the way. You have access to the seed of creation, the spark of existence, and the codes that hold the blueprint for who and what we are. This place is clear and grounded, despite moving through multidimensional realms and able to bridge worlds while functioning in the physical. The higher you reach for the divine and the realms of spirit, the more important it is to anchor deeply into Earth. So this card is really talking about you're working with these angels that are helping you listen to not just the words, but to the heart of what's going on. And this card is saying, when you work with other people at this deep level, you need to remember to ground yourself. Your Earth Star chakra is actually an out-of-body chakra. It resides generally around 6 inches below your feet. This is the anchor point to hold you to the planet. And now that we're coming into these higher frequencies of spiritual energy, and however else you want to look at that, it's actually activating all of these exterior chakras. And when you bring online these other chakras, you start to discover they've always been there, but your awareness of them wasn't. So as you spiritually grow through prayer, through meditation, these other chakras are going to start waking up more and more. And this one is a good anchor point to help connect you to the heart of the planet, keeping you grounded, bringing your energy down, because as an air energy elemental, you want to be up here. You always want to be in the upper realm in your mind, in your thought patterns. This card is saying that's fine most of the time, but during this third week, when you're working with helping other people and listening deeply, you're going to be at a risk of being flighty. So staying grounded is a good way to kind of alleviate that. And it also allows the other person to be able to pour out their energy and you just to send it straight down so that you're not carrying it with you either. So let's look at what the tarot has to say for this third week. And this is a lesson or challenge. And this is a major arcana card, so this is a life lesson. And in this deck, they call it the Dreamer, but in the standard deck, it would be the Joker. Or, not Joker. I can't remember. My brain is scattered right now. Embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure, and trust yourself. The Fool, that's the card. What this card is really saying is you're going through a period of growth. You're starting something new. And when you start something new, and I don't care who you are, when you start a new project, you're the consummate idiot. You know nothing. So the Dreamer is, I've got this great idea, I've got these grand plans, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. And that's what this card is saying is, understand where you're at in this next endeavor, where you're at in your spiritual journey, where you're at in your day-to-day life, because in reality, we all know nothing, but we all know everything. And this card is just a reminder to don't get too far ahead of yourself with where you're at. Take the steps, do the work. The next step will open up to you. Plan for 5 steps ahead, but understand that the next step is the most important one. And that's what this card is really wanting to remind you of, because the life lessons that go along with this is not just applies to this particular day. The Dreamer, when it pops up like this, these major arcanas, this is signaling grand shifts in life. So this could be open to something new. It could be a new job. It could be a new spiritual practice. It could be a new book. Something bigger than the everyday change of plans is coming up. So let's look at the 4th week of November for 2022 air signs. So your guide is expect miracles. So that's actually a really cool follow-up to your challenge, and your lesson from the 3rd week is something new is coming, be open and ready for that change. And then the group of angels coming in for the 4th week is expect miracles. So this is a good time to really tap into that beginning something new. What is it that you're trying to create in life? This group of angels can come in and say, hey, let's sit down, let's journal this out, let's write this out, do a vision board, something like that, but build your plan on already having it. Work with your guides to understand what are the next steps. What do I need to do to achieve my goals? And when you start working in that aspect, God, source, divine energy is going to come in and say, you're willing to do the work, I'm willing to speed things up. So, and it's not going to be always a magical process, but what will happen is the way and the path will ease itself open for you, so you can find the next step and the next step and the next step in a much more rapid way. So, your message from Source is Mount Shasta. So this is actually a location you could visit if you're in that area. Mount Shasta says, where Lemuria would be destroyed, its people traveled to parts of the globe. Mount Shasta was one of the places that they journeyed to. There are tales of unusual phenomena and multidimensional beings living inside this mountain. This card is about origins, and the image is the seed crystal that this deck is based around. Honor and look more deeply into your ancestry, both your bloodline and your etheric lineage, which is your spiritual ancestor line. Do you have an affinity with star beings? Connect with them, and this might allow greater insight into your traits, your strengths, and challenges. The sacred places you feel attracted to have an intuitive message for you. So you have the angels coming in saying, let's expect miracles this week. Last week you had the ending card of the Dreamer, which is a challenge of something new coming in. With this card, it's really coming forward that visiting those places that are aligned with your soul's energy are important. Even if it's just looking at them in pictures, focusing on them as you're going to bed so you can dream to them, but connecting to the places you're drawn to. Like for me personally, I'm really drawn to Stonehenge, and so whenever I'm wanting to study something new, I'll do some meditations, I'll work through the energy aligned with Stonehenge, and it actually helps me understand this new project better. So what this card is saying is if you are aligned with star beings, any of the galactic councils out there, start working with them a little bit more this 4th week, especially if you are traveling and being around groups of people. It can get a little stressful during these times, so connecting to those energies of your sacred places, understanding where you come from in a spiritual sense, can actually help you work within those situations of like big family gatherings and groups and all that fun stuff. So let's look at the challenge or the lesson from this for the 4th week of November for the air signs. It is the Queen of Spring. Brilliant, loyal, talented, and friendly. Believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you. Maintain a balance between work and home. So your challenge during this 4th week is finding that balance again. During the 2nd week, the angels came through to be like, let's rebalance you, clear stuff out so we can find this new, basically the new ground level in a new balance. This 4th week, you're working with all this energy that's bringing in these positive shifts, these positive changes. You're tapping into your ancestor line through your meditations. You're tapping into the places of power that are close to you or the ones that are close to your heart. And the big challenge with this is be friendly, be open to all these new changes, but believe in yourself and that God sent you here with gifts for a set purpose. That purpose can be multifaceted, so don't think that this is the only thing I can do is be like a Reiki practitioner. No. You can do a lot more than that. That is one of the gifts you were sent with. So find ways to integrate your gifts into each other and really work with that. And during this 4th week, asking for help from other people who are on a similar spiritual journey or a similar business interest is a way to really enhance what you're working on. And make sure, though, that no matter what you're doing, and this keeps coming up with this reading for you guys in the air community, finding the balance and maintaining that balance. Being air, find ways to stay grounded, because air wants to be up in the upper chakras, up in your head, in this very active intellectual state. But the message that keeps coming forward is find ways to stay grounded, reconnect to the soil, reconnect to the earth, bring yourself from the intellectual into the emotional, so that you keep a balance of the flow of energy going forward. So let's look at the angels for the 5th week of November 2022. This is a time of self-acceptance. So the angels that are coming through for this 5th week are really talking about being where you're at, loving and caring for who you are in the moment, and understanding your gifts. And that could be writing, that could be some form of counseling, or it could be a creative endeavor that uses a lot of intellectual processes, because air is a very intellectual element. And this card is saying, don't be afraid of who you are. If you have things that you need to talk over with people, things that you need to get off your chest, and you don't know how to do it, well, reality is you do. It may just not be comfortable for you to do that. But in a safe way, as long as it's safe, obviously, use this 5th week with the angels of self-acceptance to really embrace the glorious aspects of who you are. Allow that to shine forward and shine out from you, because each one of us are divinely created beings. We all have been given amazing gifts and amazing opportunities. And this card for you air signs this 5th week is saying, embrace them. You have them. God gave them to you. Enjoy being who you are and look at ways to become someone better. So your message from Source is the harmonic flight. And the card says, this powerful image represents the divine we see when we look deeply into the eyes of another and our armor drops. When we meet another being present in the moment with no stories, judgments, or insecurities, when we harmonize our energies with another person, we soar. We can guide each other to higher and higher by encouraging all that has been weighing us down to drop away. The bonds you share give you the power to transmute fear. Put time and awareness into resolving karmic connections, or they will continue to play out, and that's not usually a good thing. There may be life-changing and life-altering connections on the horizon for you. So this card is really talking about, you have the angels of self-acceptance coming forward. You have people in your life that you're connected to. Find ways to use the positive energy with those other people. And there's an exercise, if you feel comfortable enough and the other person's open to doing that and comfortable with it, where you sit and you just gaze into the other person's eyes, trying not to blink, and that can be a trick, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and the connection and the vibrational change and the alignment between you and that other person becomes very intense. It is intimate in a way that is not physical. And that's what this card is really talking about, is finding somebody in your life that you can connect with in that deep harmonizing way, so that both of your energies are neutral and they're calm, but because you're both in a state of openness and willing to respond and receive, you're also you're also in the area to build that energy and grow with it. And so this card is about finding those people in your life that you can grow with. And so you're working with your own self-acceptance, and by accepting who you are and where you are, you will attract the tribe of people where you can build that spiritual resonance, and then everyone can grow together but individually. So your growth is not going to mirror someone else's, but you're going to help the other person and they can help you. So your lesson or challenge from the tarot is the 10 of Summer. You have some completion you're working on this month, air signs. The 10 of Summer, an emotionally fulfilled life with family and friends, raising children wisely, and people you can trust. So this 5th week is really about coming into yourself with connecting. You're working with the self-acceptance angels this week. You're finding your tribe by vibrating into that. By accepting yourself, you'll vibrate to attract the people who are also on that same path. And you're going to basically build a connection with groups of people you can trust. You're emotionally fulfilled, meaning that You've balanced your mind's intellectual, I have to analyze every detail, with your heart's, I'm going to feel everything, so that you can actually live a fulfilling life of, I know when I can feel my emotions, I know when I have to work, and it's all starting to flow together. And you started off this month with the 10 of spring, which is a completion cycle, and you're ending it with the 10 of summer, which is another completion cycle. So you're the first of this month, you're ending a cycle of energy from the last month, and at the end of this month, you're actually coming to a conclusion where you've grown, you've changed, and things have shifted for you into a more positive state. As long as you're willing to do your work, journaling, meditating, being around the people that help you grow, either spiritually, mentally, physically, because hitting the gym counts too, and working with all of that type of energy, you're coming to another cycle. And at the end of this particular cycle, the end of November, you're tapping into that fulfilled aspect of who you are. So hopefully that reading resonates for you guys. And if it did, you can go ahead and click the little like button. Subscribe if this is the kind of content you enjoy or like to see more of. I've got plenty more on the channel. And if you have any comments, questions, or even criticisms, I'm open to all of them. Just drop them in the comment section below. And with everything that's going on the way it is, we can always use more respect. So as long as we're respectful, we can keep going. With that being said, I will talk to you in a future video, and I hope you have an awesome week.